guys, I'm here to talk about some tips for CAS, and the first thing I want you guys to remember is to remember that it is important. Yes, it's part of your IB diploma. You kind of need to be able to get the diploma. And the next thing is that you want to work through your 2 years on CAS. Don't try to fit it into 1 month, or worse, 1 week or 1 day, because that won't work. And going on, you want to work in advance kind of like this. You don't want to procrastinate on it because that'll just be more stressful for you when IB is not trying to stress you out. It's just trying to better prepare you for the future. And you want to have open communication with your group after you find something really meaningful. And what our class did is we put together a 5K for suicide prevention awareness because that hit home with us and that's something we all cared about and something we do care about. And you guys want to find something like that for you guys. And just remember to keep open communication so you can be successful in CAS.
So the C stands for creativity, and there are many things you can do to get points for creativity in this. For example, you can make posters or art and hang them around the school, or you can just do it for your personal benefit. You can put on a show, or you can get other people and teach them like a dance or something, and then have them put on a show. And so if you create a routine and teach it, that's like combined with activity and service. So creativity, service, and activity can overlap. And as well as service and creativity, you can like start a small business and make all the proceeds go to a charity or organization.
Okay guys, so the A in CAS stands for activity. So make sure you record things such as, for example, if you play sport for your school, such as swimming or you run track, make sure you record those kind of things, as well as smaller activities, like if you go hiking with your friends or your family, that also counts for activity. So just anything that involves exercise or you being active and something that you can reflect on, make sure you record all those activities. Okay.
Service. So, there are many things you can do and should do when it comes to service. So, first of all, the IB motto is to think globally and act locally. You should find ways to reach out in your community and do things in your area that support a global cause. For instance, homelessness is something that's global, but there are soup kitchens everywhere, and there are ways that you can reach out to these people in your own area rather than just thinking you can't do anything because it's such a big issue in our society. Fundraising and donating is another way that you can get involved without, get involved with a global issue in a local way. And then attending events for the cause is another way you can, look for events in your area. I know I went to a Tim Tebow event called Night to Shine, where I got to take pictures of people with, disorders that were attending a dance, and it was really fun and it was very beneficial and fulfilling. Also, another thing you can do is service projects. You can find trips to go on where you do direct service and you're like helping people head on. You should plan and initiate, find ways to make your own service projects, and then plan them out thoroughly, get your friends involved, and initiate them yourselves. That's what we did as an IB group. We did that with our Suicide Awareness 5K, and it was very successful, and just pretty much overall awesome. So yeah, get involved and find ways to make it fun. Don't make it all about just Don't make it feel like it's a task and that it's all work. Find ways to enjoy it and to get something out of it for yourself. So yeah.
My advice for the extended essay is to start working on it early. Especially for English, you're going to want to start over the summer because that's when you're going to be able to have time to read and annotate the books without being stressed for all the stuff that's going to happen your senior year. Also, I would not suggest waiting till winter break of your senior year to start writing it. Personally, I started writing mine over Thanksgiving break, and I just took a day to sit down and write all of it and get a rough draft. And that gave me enough time to go back to my advisor, and she was able to read it through it with me and help me a lot in that aspect.
Okay, so my advice for the extended essay is to pick a topic that you're really interested in because it's a lot, better to write something that you're very passionate about try and pick the best resources possible, whether they're books or online resources, and always check, the credibility of them. Mine were all web-based sources, so I printed out each one individually and highlighted them, and then I showed my mentor, Miss Reed, who was very helpful throughout the process, and she actually helped me narrow down the topic a lot, because for IB it has to be very specific, so make sure that yours is. And just try and have fun with it, because honestly, like, once you're in the process and once you pick a topic that you really enjoy, it's not that bad. So just make sure you go and visit your advisor a lot, because they're supposed to help you and that's what they're there for. So just do your best.
Hey guys, I did my extended essay on politics, and for my paper I focused on a particular policy and how it affected one group of people. So my advice to you is, if you're pursuing a paper in politics, make sure to make your issue much smaller and personalize it, because that's going to make your research much easier, and find something that you really enjoy writing about, because you're going to be spending a lot of time on it. So it's no fun if you don't like what you're writing about. Enjoy and have fun with it, because it's a really fun experience. Actually, I thought it was. So find ways to personalize it.
Alright, so you want to do mathy, but trust me, it's stupid easy. Even though Mr. Hector and Miss Reed are going to keep shooting you down, if you say you want to do mathy, it's really easy. It's honestly, if you're like me and you just suck at English, you're kind of forced to do it anyways. So just make sure when you do it, right, you don't need to worry about reaching that word count limit. Once you get around 3,000 words, that should be good enough. Because, 4,000 words talking about math stuff, that's just going to get really boring. And also make sure you get a topic you like, otherwise that's going to be boring for you to write, and probably for the reader too, if you don't show like some enthusiasm in your work.
Alright, what's up guys? I'm going to be talking to you about the bio extended essay. So it's pretty much the same 4,000 word extended essay, but in this specific topic you also have to do experiments for it as well. So you have to find a bio experiment that you want to do, and then string it all together and still write 4,000 words on it and do your background research and everything. Which prose is really good that you can actually have your own experiment, but it's also kind of bad because you have to do the extra work with it as well and actually calculate the data and do everything with it.
So if you guys are considering writing your EE on a historical topic, I highly encourage it. I love doing mine on history. The one thing that I definitely loved about writing my historical paper is it really helped teach me how to use my library researching skills. Use lots of different types of resources, don't use all online. Make sure that you know how to use historical museum and library databases, and don't be afraid to watch documentaries. Sometimes they help teach you things that you wouldn't get any other way. Make sure that your paper stands out amongst all others, and really make sure that you love your topic so you can bring a wow factor. A lot of the paper is OPVL and source evaluation, so be prepared for that. You're going to have to make sure you write down a lot of information about your source and research authors and things like that. Thanks guys, good luck.
So you may be asking yourself, what is TOK? Better yet, how do you know what you know? Now, TOK is pretty simple. It's the theory of knowledge. So how do you know what you know? And we do this by Socratic seminars and learning through the book. You're going to be knowing the AOK and the WOC, the areas of knowledge and the ways of knowing. This will be applied later on in the year in a video, or it can even be applied in your essay, which you will have to do both. Not only will you use it in this class, you'll use it in every single one of your classes, because it's combined with all your different subjects to help you in every way possible.
What's up guys? I'm Ryan, and I'll be giving you some advice on how to get good grades and do good in TOK. So basically, one of the main things you're going to want to do is pretty much just make sure you do the homework, because a lot of people didn't do the homework, and the homework really helps you just learn everything, study everything TOK, and do the book. And also, for the big presentation and essay you have to do, you're just going to want to make sure you learn the format for it, kind of understand how they work before you kind of dive into it, otherwise it can kind of be confusing for you. So just make sure you plan it out accordingly and actually learn what you're going to do in it.
There are two different teachers for the theory of knowledge class. Your junior year you will have Miss Berselli, and your senior year you will have Mr. Gamboa. There are two different teachers with two different teaching techniques and the way you will learn. But always remember to keep an open mind, because you should take advantage of the fact that you are able to learn the same knowledge different ways and different styles.
Another
big portion about TOK is the IA, or also known as the TOK presentation. This, you can choose any topic you want and present it any way you can. But make sure that you choose a topic that you're passionate about and also that personally affects you.
Here are some tips for writing your TOK essay, also known as the external assessment. Make sure you choose a prompt that you're fairly comfortable answering and writing about. Do not limit your real-life situation strictly on the United States, as it is important to exemplify a globally knowledgeable and challenged mind. Also, make sure that you're not overzealous in terms of writing the essay, and give yourself time to think about what you're writing about. I wish you all the best of luck, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
Hello, and welcome to IB Biology. As a junior, you'll be taking this 1-year bio course that is taught by Franco. Here, you'll be learning many different topics and doing many different labs in preparation for your IA, as well as your IB testing course. With this, you will get into many different situations where you're unfamiliar with different topics, as well as you're very familiar with some of them. Also, it gets a little confusing in the very beginning of your first semester as a junior because you'll also be taking a TOK course. With this, there'll be moments and times where you are taking bio for 3 hours instead of your bio class or your TOK class. Other situations, you'll be going to bio and then your TOK. It all just depends on the type of semester that you have.
Yo, so some of the great things about IB Bio, you get to learn about all these biological processes and everything, of course, like how your body does what it does, but you also have all these labs you can use where you're not just learning the information, you're also taking it and actually like applying it to everyday different processes and different labs and everything you can experiment with, so you're pretty much taking away all the information and actually gaining something from it as well. It's really cool.
Personally, I felt that the tests in Mr. Franco's class were very difficult throughout each unit. Although I did try my best to study, I didn't always do well on his tests. But I realized at the end of the year when I was trying to study for the IB test, when I did study throughout the year, it helped. So make sure that you study a lot for the IB test and don't be discouraged by your grade in Mr. Franco's class, because I was able to still pass the IB test even though I didn't pass a lot of his tests in class. So the most important part is just make sure that you study and do your best, and don't be discouraged by Mr. Franco's tests.
So the best thing I can probably tell you about biology and how to survive it is that you need to do your work, no matter what anybody else says. I know that everybody says that, oh, you need to do your work for all your classes, but especially for this class, because if you try to cram the night before the test, you're not going to do well, because there's a lot of information. Another good thing that you can do is you can get the IB study guidebook and just use it alongside the material that you're learning in class. And also make sure to do your work on time, because Franco does not accept late work, and he also has this little cup that you will be very familiar with because he will shove it in your face that literally says it's not my problem. So if you turn in late and work late, then it's not his problem. And also, if you can also maybe try to be his favorite student. I mean, come on, clearly likes the Angels.
Okay, so I'm here to give you guys advice on the IA, or the internal assessment for IB Biology. Basically, it is a 12-page maximum experiment essay that you conduct yourself. You choose your own topic of investigation. So this is the first IA you will do for IB as a whole, and it will really help you writing your other ones. I did the creation of lactose-free milk from regular milk and the use of enzyme lactase. And it is a truly unique and interesting process, and you'll learn a lot from it, and it will help you in the future.
I'm Mr. Franco, and I approve this message, and I wish you all the best of luck.
So I chose math studies because math isn't really my strong suit, and after high school I'm planning on going into business entrepreneurship, so it's not really math or science related, so it was a really good choice for me personally because it's something I can go into and I can focus on other classes other than math, because math isn't really my strong suit. The pros is that I had a lot of other time to do other work that I needed to really focus on in other classes. And I guess the cons would be is still the stupidest one in the class.
Hi, I am the only kid in Math HL, higher level, and pretty much what's nice about it is it's for students like engineering students like myself, as well as if you're planning to go into a math field because you don't have further mathematics, this is where you're going to want to be. Some pros of it are you are really prepared for college. You're going to get even a little more than the Calc BC kids get, because you get both really high calculus as well as statistics and other things. And some cons is that it's really hard and you will cry.
Hey, I took SL Math, and that's for kids who are generally looking to go into more science-based fields, probably in the medical field in the future. And some of the pros were that it's a very well-balanced class. I really enjoyed Mr. Haggett as a teacher. And some of the cons are that it doesn't really prepare you as much for calculus, but I think you still get a good grip on it. And I really enjoyed it, so just ask a lot of questions and apply yourself.
Come on, let's take a little look-see. Here we've got a studies math kid in a natural habitat. Let's take a listen.
What does an F say when they want to get back together with their ex after they've broken up? Can't function without ya.
So embarrassing. Next over here, we have an SL student. Very quiet. They're startled quickly. As you can see, SL ain't no rodeo. Up here now, we've got the HL IB math student. No, don't do it! Your mother loves you.
To survive IB English and be as prepared as possible for your exam, you're going to want to do the following things. Listen to your teacher. They know what they're doing. Annotate as much as you can, especially focus on figurative language. Get really comfortable reading poetry and memorize 2 or 3 quotes that are really meaningful to you and are packed with as much knowledge and meaning that you can possibly put into them. Otherwise, you're not going to be prepared.
Okay, so I'm going to be telling you guys about the IOCs. So there's 2 parts. For the first part, you're going to be color marking a poem, basically. And what you want to look for is figurative language and rhyme schemes and just all that stuff that Rita has gone over with you guys. Another thing to focus on is the meaning of the poem. You want to be able to fully understand it. And if there's any historical context, you want to bring that up as well because it gives you extra points. Then she's going to give you a play, like one of the plays that you covered, and you're expected to know as much as you can about that play. But she's going to give you questions to help guide you and direct you through this. So she'll ask you a question, and then you basically answer it to the best of your ability with as much detail and important parts of the play that you can.
So English is one of the best class and hardest class you'll ever take in high school, especially because Miss Reed is really tough, but it's good because it'll humble you and it'll make you a better writer. Just keep up with the literature. You can't do anything else but read and do research, and you should be good.
Good Monday, everybody. Before we start class, I just want to remind everybody to pay your fees. So, yeah. And before we start our class today, I want you guys to get into small groups, focusing on poetry and your grammar, work on those annotations, and get to work. Good Tuesday, everybody, or at least I hope it is. Before we start class today, I really want to focus on our IOCs, and I also want to remind everybody to pay their fees, because it's coming out of my pocket, so you guys got to get that in, seriously. So now I want you guys to get into small groups. We're going to be focusing on our John Donne poetry unit today. John Donne. Good Wednesday, everybody, or at least I hope it is. Before we start class today, I want to remind you to pay your fees, seriously. And we just finished our IOCs. That unit was very successful. What did you guys think of it? Was it pretty good, or?
Chris, end it. Let's go.
That's a wrap.
On the IB exam, if you can't remember a specific date, just be general and back it up and it'll give you points.
Oh, hiya friend, I didn't see you there. Do the outlines because this class totally matters.
Actually, that's a problem, though, right? You guys most of the time use them responsibly, not all the time, mostly.
Yeah. And then get back to work.
You know they're responsible for not working, like, I'm lying forever.
Let's do English. Yeah. Hey Hana, do you want waffles or pancakes? What? You I can't really be distracted by food right now. I'm really sorry. You know, I have this final, I have my IA2. Why are you distracting me with food? I can't do this. Why am I an IB?
Especially with absent people in the morning room.
Yeah, go ahead. Dang it, I can't find anything online. Hey, Stephanie, I can't find the answer on Quizlet. Can you help me out? It's in the book. Oh, it's right there. Thanks.
What I like about the class?
My favorite thing about Spanish, or just like the class in general? Oh, no, that wasn't that class. I don't even speak Spanish. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's for Spanish.
Oh, what I didn't like about the class. Let's see, that's easy. The fact that I didn't know Spanish, I didn't know how to write in Spanish, I had to write a lot in Spanish, I couldn't use Translate, I didn't know Spanish. Okay, what I liked about Spanish, I guess it was the people in the class. They were really good. And like talking in English in between the movies, that was nice. What I didn't like about Spanish, I didn't know any Spanish.
Alright. The best way to prepare for the IOC, surprisingly enough, the biggest thing you want to know is how to speak the language, preferably Spanish, because you're actually going to be speaking that language when you do the IOC. But other than that, in class, pay really close attention to like the festivals and like all these cultural things that happen, as well as like how to describe photos and all things like that, because that's going to be what's on the IOC when you actually have to speak Spanish fluently towards the other teacher.
So my one main advice when entering French class is to know French beforehand, because you're going to need to know the language in order to be successful and do the test. Before the test, make sure to translate French literature or articles, because you're going to have to do that in the test anyway. So, yeah.
Alright, if you don't know French, I don't know what to tell you. You're basically screwed. Hopefully you know like a little bit, or you can teach yourself. Just watch French movies, read French literature as much as you can to learn about the culture, and good luck.
IB Visual Arts is composed of 3 components: comparative study, process portfolio, and exhibition. Comparative study is a comparison of 2 artists from different time periods and cultures that influence your art. Process portfolio shows the progress of your skills throughout the 2 years of IB through visual journals and projects. An exhibition is focused on a unifying theme that just shows your interest. Here are 7 of my pieces, 7 out of 8, that shows the theme of political satire, and I just chose dogs because I love dogs and I like to show my opinion through them. So, yeah.
So, for IB art, you're gonna do something wrong. Guaranteed. 100% of the time, you're gonna mess up, live with it, it's gonna be awful. What I messed up on was not drawing every single day and trying to better myself every day. Your work ethic has to be strong, because no matter what other IB kids tell you, this is going to be your hardest class. No matter what they say. You can tell them to shut up, because I'm right, it's going to be hard. So you want to make sure you do everything when your teacher tells you to, and try your best not to make as many mistakes as possible.
So I would definitely have to say that the best part about visual arts is bettering not only your skills as an artist, but yourself. Because you have to learn to accept what you've done, and not everything that you do is bad. I mean, if you look at all these pieces, we might think that they're horrible, but they're actually really amazing. And other people see them a lot better than you do. So the best thing that I can say is just focus on improving your own self, and don't worry about what other people are doing. And always listen to your teacher, because they definitely know best.
Manage your time wisely. Do not procrastinate. And remember, art is not a competition.
So, my art experience. Well, first of all, I went in without having taken any art classes and could barely draw a stick figure. But, thanks to the help of Mr. Wong and asking for help and everything from my peers and my teacher, I got better and I kept practicing, and then my work became bearable. So basically just keep trying and persevere and you should be fine.
So a couple of ways that you can make sure that you're succeeding in Mr. Hector's class is one, to make sure that you're asking a lot of questions because he has really great ways of explaining things to help us understand.
Another way is, although you guys may not be in econ, this probably works for GloPo as well, is to actually read the book. The book has a lot of information from it, and when he tells you to read it, actually read it because there's really helpful things in there.
Alright, so contrary to popular belief and everything that I've taught you over these past 2 years, actually demand now goes on the top curve, and supply goes on the bottom curve. As you can see, this thing is no good. Kobe. It was close. Kobe. It was close. Kobe. It was close. Kobe, it was close. Question?
I thought the demand went on the bottom.
Sorry, did I hear you right? Barely freshman? You're barely a freshman. Alright? Maybe one day I'll call you barely a sophomore, alright? Alright? I missed, as usual.
Mr. Hector, I have a question.
Yes, Stephon.
Where do we get the senior jokes?
Senior jokes. Those come when you're worthy. And seeing as you only have about 3 days left until graduation, I think you got about 4 more days to go before you get those, alright? So just calm down. It'll all be good, alright? Kobe was close. Kobe was close. Ha! Coffee. Coffee. Cob. Fee. Got it, coffee. Fee. Coffee fee. Coffee fee Kobe. What are they gonna do? Fire me? Kobe.
Oh, this is hard.
Are you having fun yet? You having fun yet? What are they gonna do? Fire me? Today we're gonna be grading papers, guys. You don't think I'll do it? Huh? You don't think I'll do it? Smile! It could be worse. You could have your hairline on fire. You know what? I'm gonna eat. Because I can. Kobe. That's a wrap.